Welcome into day 3, match 3 of the new World Team Tennis season. All 66 matches taking place right here at the Greenbrier in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. Tonight we've got the Springfield Lasers versus the Philadelphia Freedoms. Beautiful night here at Center Court at Creekside. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Olivia Decker. Thrilled to have you with us for our nightcap. Philadelphia Freedoms, the first World Team Tennis franchise, taking on the most successful of late franchise, the Springfield Lasers, winners of the last 2 championships. Now, Philly won all 5 of their sets last night, but they didn't finish till almost midnight. So let's see if they're rested up today. Let's take a look at some of the results from an action-packed day 3. We started out with Vegas beating San Diego 23-21. A big Sam Querrey set, 5-1 win, got them ahead early. Then Orlando and Orlando Storm beat the Chicago Smash behind a great set in women's singles. Danielle Collins shutting out Sloane Stevens 5-0. They take that win. And now we have Springfield and Philadelphia. Philadelphia being the home team, they get to set their own lineup. Let's catch up on our standings. Only 2 teams remain undefeated. One of them we'll see tonight. Philadelphia Freedoms trying to protect that goose egg in the loss column. We'll see if they can do it. The playoffs start August 1st and 2nd, and the top 4 teams will play in that playoff. There's $5 million worth of prize money as an incentive, so players are playing very hard this season. We're already seeing it. Now, Philly got their head coach back today. He did not coach last night. He just passed his second COVID-19 test. All players and coaches are having to pass 2 tests before being able to participate, as with us in the media. So, guys, I know you think that Philadelphia has one of the most stacked rosters. Let's bring in Jeff Chisever and Mark Lucero to talk more on that. Jeff?
All right, appreciate that, Olivia. Nice job, as always. We are all set for day 3. I'm Jeff Chisever alongside my partner and coach extraordinaire, Mark Lucero. And Mark, the Lasers back-to-back defending champs, but they're taking on a team in the Philadelphia Freedoms that might have the deepest roster in the league.
Jeff, the entire league has taken notice of the dominance the last 2 seasons from the Springfield Lasers. The Philadelphia Freedoms very active in the offseason acquisitions, getting Sonia Kennan and Taylor Fritz, each the highest-ranked singles players in the league.
Hey, they might have the best team on paper, but that is why they settle it on the court. We are just moments away from first ball, and we are going to start with mixed doubles. It's going to be McNally and Lynchstead for Springfield, taking on Taylor Townsend and Fabrice Martin for Philly. Lasers and the Freedoms right after this.
World Team Tennis is brought to you by Geico. Did you know that Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car insurance? That's on top of what Geico could already save you. Visit geico.com to learn more. By the Greenbrier Valley in West Virginia, home to scenic trails and quiet rivers, friendly mountain towns, and America's resort, the Greenbrier. And by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings app and use
Let's meet the participants of our first set, which will be mixed doubles. We'll start with the visiting team for this match, and Springfield. Warming up to the chairs left in white. He's won 23 career doubles titles. Last year in Metz with Strum. Also a Grand Slam champion in 2014 at the Australian Open. Give it up for Robert Lynchstead. His teammate warming up to the right of the chair from Cincinnati.
World Team Tennis is brought to you by Geico. Did you know that Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car insurance? That's on top of what Geico could already save you. Visit geico.com to learn more. By the Greenbrier Valley in West Virginia, home to scenic trails and quiet rivers, friendly mountain towns, and America's resort, the Greenbrier. And by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings app and use promo code WTT to play free for thousands of dollars in prizes this season.
White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia is where we are at America's Resort, and we are just about to get going here between the Lasers and the Philadelphia Freedoms. Let's take a look at the Wilson lineups. We are going to start here with mixed doubles, kind of a throwback to college tennis, Mark. I feel like in these past matches we've been starting with singles, but this time we're going to start with mixed and we're going to end with men's singles. What do you make of the order, and any matchups stick out to you?
The strength of the Springfield lineup is in the doubles. Veterans everywhere: Robert Lindstedt, Jean-Julien Roger, Haley Carter, and the rookie, Katie McNally.
And check this out. Robert, let's take a look at some of the format and rules. World Team Tennis, not your typical tennis. Equal gender participation, 5 sets of tennis, but it's not about how many sets you win. It's all about the games. A bunch of other fun little rules. What are you vibing on here, Mark?
I like seeing lets being played. I love that the home team coach gets to pick the order of play. Are you going to stack your team in the beginning? Are you going to put your strength late? Love no ad scoring, just like college, and you can sub out players if you feel a hot hand coming in off the bench. Put that player in.
It's a great question. You talked about, do you stack it at the top? Do you go to the bottom? Oh, let's put your team coaching hat on, right? Do you want to get your sure thing in front? Do you want to, it's one of those things. Do you want to put your best player in the back, or that time you're already out of it? What do you think?
Yeah, well, this is Coach Carden's first match. Let's see, let's see what he's feeling tonight.
That's a good point. Coach Carden and Coach DeJager both still were awaiting their negative result from their COVID test, and as of this morning, they were not good to go. But it was just less than a couple of hours ago when they got the green light, so happy to see them back out there. Just about here for first ball, it's going to be Fabrice Martin for the Philadelphia Freedoms, and Taylor Townsend. She is a baller, and she is in the I formation, ready to pounce. Before we get into the Freedoms, we talked about Lindstedt and McNally. Check this. Lindstedt, 43 years old, and McNally, 18. I'm trying to do some quick math. I think that's 20, gosh, I'm blowing it. 25 years difference. That's pretty ridiculous.
Robert Lindstedt was already on tour before McNally was even born.
More than double her age.
Got Taylor Townsend, one of the best volleyers on the WTA Tour. Taylor's really good around the net, beautiful hands. She got out of that I formation very quickly.
Crazy to think some coaches around the league would say she's the most valuable player in the league, and they still have Kenin and Fritz. We talked about it earlier. They are loaded. And right on cue, she bricks the volley in the net. You jinxed her.
With the depth in the league this year, though, it's so valuable to have players that you can sub in and sub out. Maybe give one player a break one night, sub in someone else for the singles or the doubles or vice versa. Taylor Townsend, she checks all those boxes.
All right, they win the first 2 points. Now we're at 30 all. And if you're the Lasers, we know they're back-to-back champs, but let's be honest. Their roster is not the same as it was last year. Lost their first match. We know each team is going to play 14 matches. Plenty of time to get back in the standings. No time to panic, but, you'd like to see them have a better showing here today.
Gosh, Taylor Townsend is known for having one of the best overheads on the WTA Tour.
Fabrice Martin, 33 years old, from France, plays for the French flag, but he lives in Florida. 5th consecutive season with the Freedom, 6'6", has a bomb of a serve. Second in the league last year in men's doubles, went 30 and 25.
Geez, nice finish from Townsend. Fabrice Martin had a good start to 2020. He won Adelaide.
take a little closer look at the Philadelphia Freedoms. If you don't know, they are owned by Billie Jean King. 2001, 2006 champions. And they've always been in it these last 2 years, but they haven't gotten over the hump. You kind of feel like this is going to be their year.
Yeah, they've been knocking on the door, but like we said in the Open, an aggressive offseason, ready to make a move in 2020.
Lindstedt with a double. A little inauspicious start on his service game. But this guy was huge for them last year. Looks at 43 years old, but he came through in the final last year, winning both of his matches in men's doubles and mixed. 3 out of the 5 sets is double, so you always want those double specialists on your squad. Could it be 2 doubles in a row? This is what's crazy about the deciding points. We take another look here at Townsend working 2 forehands. She gets a sitter right here. Bye-bye. Okay, so you're at love 30 as the returner. You're telling yourself you just need one of the next 3 points and you're going to get a break point.
Big hitting in the backcourt from Fabrice Martin.
All right, 4 break points here. What do you think the percentage chance is that Lindstedt could hold? Let's say 20%. What do you think? 4 points in a row? Can they rattle it
I
off?
might put it a little higher if you could pop some first serves in.
All right, put your money where your mouth is, partner. I'll bet you this. I'll bet you a water.
I don't want to have the tennis integrity unit after me.
That's
good.
Not the best time for charity. They get the early break. We talked about it earlier, but the Lasers and Coach DeJager has really built great chemistry there. They are back-to-back World Team Tennis champions. 5-time finalists to see right there. And DeJager, 3-time Coach of the Year. This is his 21st year coaching in the league. There's a look at him right there.
Good return out of the deuce side for the veteran, Robert Lindstedt, the former Pepperdine Wave. This interesting dynamic when you're playing mixed doubles. Sometimes as the male player, you feel like you need to do a little more, especially in the scenario he's in tonight, playing with such a young player. You end up pressing a little bit.
Sometimes I like stealing the signs a little bit. She's going wide and Fabrice is going left. Viewers, you can hit me up if you hate that. We're doing our Tony Romo here.
A lot of times in the mixed double too, you'll see a male player landing up in an I formation or sort of an Australian formation to try to take the returner's eye off the ball.
Just like a distraction, right?
Yeah, just try to help your partner out with their serve a little bit. There's Taylor Townsend, world junior champion, won the Australian Open in singles and in doubles.
By the way, you already lost the first bet because they didn't hold. In fact, you double faulted, so I feel like you were way off on that one.
I was well aware. Taylor Townsend had a breakout U.S. Open last year, qualified and made the 4th round.
Huge win over Simona Halep, right?
Yes, she was playing heavy forehands all over the net, giving Halep fits.
We were talking about Taylor Townsend taking out Simona Halep. I got a little trivia question for you. She went to net a bunch in that match. She wins in 3 sets. How many times do you think she went to net in that match? This is Taylor Townsend beating Simona Halep at the U.S. Open.
this a Mark Lucero question or a rhetorical question?
No, I would just take a guess. How many times she went to the net? How many times did she went to the
she
net?
was in triple digits. She was well over 100.
Great call. 106.
Wow, Fabrice Martin so close to the net strap.
Our producer just said it was 107 with the handshake, and she won 64 of those points. Simona Halep, that's a former world #1. That is an impressive win. And a lot of people think with Taylor, she's so talented, people want to see her get to not top 20, top 10. She's got the talent, right?
Yeah, so just think about that. If you run the numbers, she won 64 of those 106 approaches. That percentage versus the normal baseline point percentage, which is probably around 50-50. Odds are in your favor. Get to the net.
Yeah. And you just don't see that much in the women's game. In fact, even the best women's doubles players, they're mostly serving and staying back. And the fact you see her serving to the male and coming behind it on a second serve, how confident is she absorbing those first volleys, right?
Well, it's funny, this new generation that's coming up right now, the Katie McNally's, the Coco Gauffs, they're approaching the net with abandon. You'll see Katie McNally serving and volleying, chipping and charging on returns. In her singles, Coco Gauff as well, finishing balls out of the air.
Second serve right there. Big kicker from the lefty. And why is it when it comes from a lefty, it just has more spin? It's like they come out of the womb with those bending serves, those lefties. I wish I was a lefty.
Spins bouncing away. If you watch Taylor, just a beautiful motion, nice and slow in the beginning, high contact point. And if you watch where the ball bounces, it's going to bounce to the left of McNally.
And when it comes off the strings, it's going to her right.
Geez, Philadelphia so fast out of the gates tonight.
I mean, we've seriously had 2 conversations and it's 3-0 already. And that's what you love about the league, right?
I know, I'm still setting up my computer out here.
Get up there. It's our first look at a little bit of a let reaction. Love that rule.
Taylor Townsend's forehand, but she's playing really well. She's playing with her, using all of her leftiness. As you see, when she gets that forehand cross court, there's so much angle on it, tailing through the sideline, going away from Katie McNally.
What do they call that? The can opener? Is that what they call it when you have lefty spin?
I just call it leftiness.
All right, leftiness.
It's a technical term.
What we love about World Team Tennis is when it stays close. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I do not want to see 5 love right here. I really don't. Years old, 5'11". I was walking behind her the other day, and I was so impressed. Physically strong she seems. I mean, fast start or what? 4-0 for the Philadelphia Freedoms. Taylor Townsend is all over the net. Second half of doubles coming up after this.
Partner with World Team Tennis, then we've got an exclusive way for everyone to get in on the action with thousands of dollars in prizes this season. Download the DraftKings app and enter our free-to-play tennis pools with promo code WTT. Then put your knowledge to the test and answer a series of questions about the matches being played that day. So enter now, download the DraftKings app, use promo code WTT, and play free for thousands of dollars in prizes.
Devin, did you know Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies?
Okay.
That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? DJ Khaled to be your motivational coach?
Yo, Devin, remember to brush in a circle motion.
Thank you, DJ Khaled.
Tiny circles, Devin. Do another one. Another one.
Is this good?
Put in that work, Devin. Don't give up.
Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th.
We are about 15 minutes into this match, and the first set is almost over, but the beauty of World Team Tennis, every game counts. If you're Springfield, you might be feeling down, but hey, let's get on the board, keep it semi-close, you can chip away at that lead.
Every game counts, even in a losing effort. If you can scrap out a game here, make a hold there, a couple extra points in a return game, get to a deuce point, that little difference can make a huge difference near the end of the match.
Yeah, not only the score, but maybe just a little momentum, right? Get a game here, carry over to the women's doubles, kind of like you pass the baton to the next team, and you don't want to be down 5. Although, I think they might. That's nice right there, huh?
Robert Lindstedt showing a little variety out of the forehand corner. It's Coach Carden. Nice racket head speed from Robert Lindstedt to get that ball to go up and down.
Is it just me or Fabrice Martin, his grunt is the old hi-ya? It sounds a little karate-esque. You hear that? I don't hear that very often.
He's trying to put his back into it, you know?
It is. It's a hi-ya. I feel like have they gone I formation? Well, I was just about to say they've gone I formation every time. Right now, go back to the regular.
Taylor Townsend's so solid up there. The thing about doubles is if you practice it quite a bit, like Taylor Townsend has, like Fabrice Martin has, you know where the ball's going as soon as it gets you. There's no decision making that happens. It's very systematic. Taylor Townsend just volley through the middle of the court, angle it off. Well done from Taylor Townsend.
Tough. You know, he's cracking serves at 130 for the first serve. It's a big kicker. I commend Katie McNally for taking it early, but I mean, pick your poison there, right? Between Martin and Townsend.
Oh, it's so nice to finish off volleys of the net when you have a big server behind you.
3 set points. Oh, Taylor. Going with a little showboat right there, showing off the spin. Like I said, we are just 20 minutes into this match. They have taken the first set in a bagel. We got women's doubles when we come back. I'll set you up on that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, there we go. She didn't 2 years removed from her MVBC. She was a perfect 13-0. Yeah.
And now as we gear up for set number 2 women's doubles, let's meet the players participating in this set. First, warming up to the chair's right from Chattanooga, Tennessee. She's playing college tennis. the University of North Carolina, two-time finalist last year, Magota Sol, won her first doubles title in Ashton, with the body, Kaylee Carter. Also warming up to the chair's left, we saw her in the first set from Cincinnati, a winner of 2 WTA doubles titles, Katie McNally. Moving up to the Philadelphia. Last year advanced to the semifinals in doubles at the U.S. Open.
All right, 1 set in the books, 4 to go, and this is what the next one looks like. Women's doubles, McNally and Carter taking on Dollahide and Taylor Townsend. And Taylor Townsend, just 2 years removed from her MVP season in 2018. Not much has changed. Mark, let's check it out.
Take a look at Taylor Townsend. This is why she's so valuable. The motor, the feet never stop moving. World Team Tennis is all about energy, getting your team off to a fast start. Taylor Townsend using those feet to get in position for the big forehand and the volley putaways.
It is just crazy to think that most coaches in the league do see Taylor as the most valuable player in the league, and they still have Sophia Kennan and Taylor Fritz on their squad. Fritz, I should say. As we take a look at her warming up, she will remain on the court. So will Katie McNally. And what do you think? It's kind of nice if she's going to play 2 sets that she gets to play 2 back-to-back, because I don't even think she broke a sweat in that first set, huh?
She's going to keep the energy rolling. Taylor Townsend, look for her to come out, make a lot of first serves, and close off the net. Make the opponents feel like she's all over the place. You can't hit around her.
And if you're the Lasers, are you kind of thinking keep it away from Taylor because she's just crushing it, or do you just status quo, remain calm, and play your game?
I think you need to come out with a couple basic plays on the return games. Try to return down the line, keep her home, don't let her cheat over. And otherwise in your serve games, make some first serves. Keep Taylor behind the baseline.
I like it. Let's see if they can chip away at that lead. Coach DeJager talking to Haley Carter and Katie McNally. This is going to be our first look at Haley Carter, former UNC Tar Heel. We love the college players. Mark and myself, both former college players, and that's where the tennis career stopped. Now I just talk tennis, and Mark, you're still the coaching aficionado, so still going to defer to you for all the coaching tidbits.
Okay, cool. It's important here for Springfield to just realize first things first. Let's come out and play a couple good points in the return game. Try to get into some important points. No big score differentials. She's Taylor Townsend. If you watch her movement out of her split step, she splits 1 or 2 steps closer to the net. All of a sudden, you have no room to hit.
First look at Dollahide. She packs a punch as well, 5'10". Okay, so Taylor's nose is on the net, right? Maybe throwing a lob
Might
return
be time for a
here.
lob, yeah.
I am a big fan of the lob return, especially in doubles. You get that lob up and over, you feel like you've kind of reset the point and you've really flipped the script on the server. Easier said than done, but maybe
especially
we'll to see that.
Carolyn Dollhide's bringing it. 108 in the last serve, 106 on this one.
Yeah, 21 years old, Dollhide. This is her World Team Tennis debut. Born in Illinois, lives and trains in Florida. She initially committed to play college tennis at UCLA, but she ultimately decided to go straight to the pros.
Great 2020 on the doubles court. As we see, made the quarters in Australia with Jennifer Brady. She followed that up with a title in Midland with Maria Sanchez.
Let's go, Haley Carter. Let's get the lasers going.
There's that down-the-line return I was looking for.
A break here would go a long way. That's the look of a confident doubles player right there, taking that return early.
Yeah, Katie McNally loves to move forward in the court. I was going over, I was trading messages with her coach earlier today. And then the last line he wrote that she doesn't back down from a tussle with anybody. And we can see on that swing volley, she was going right at Taylor Townsend. And that's how you keep someone honest in doubles. Go right at them.
She didn't know if she wanted to get on the fly or on the bounce. Nice return from Carter. They had a good look at that point, and they're going back to the deuce court. No surprise there, right?
Yeah, I'd like to see Katie McNally step up and want the point.
So last time out, it was the kick serve to her backhand. She got it low to the feet. Maybe they're thinking go out wide to the forehand.
I would try to slide it wide, let Taylor get really close to the net.
Had a good look at that point, but Townsend is there for the put away, and they are up 6-0, and the total's another look at this.
Taylor Townsend does such a good job keeping the point alive, then she gets the high ball. My buddy Eduardo Sanchez at Rancho Valencia says, "High we die," and that's what happened right there.
That's like her signature shot, right? Coming around the end of it, massaging the ball on the outside. She says her player she looked up to the most was Martina Navratilova. Don't worry, I'm not making any comparisons to her, but she does have a great feel with the volleys. You just need to get on the board. Get one game, and you can chip away. You got the best swinging volley from McNally, and Townsend just doesn't flinch at all.
Just such good hands. Double staying alive. Katie McNally played a pretty good point here with the cross-court ball and down the tee, and Taylor Townsend getting her racket in the right spot.
I mean, how sick is she? How is she not in the top 20?
She's
I know that's
so
the question
fun to
everyone
watch
asks, but I putting on a swinging volley clinic. Is it just me, or in the women's game, sometimes they prefer the swinging volley than an overhead sometimes?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think most players in the modern game, men and women, if that ball is coming with a little bit of arc to it, they're going to take a swing volley. That's a great smash from Haley Carter.
All right, just like that, 3 looks at a game point to get on the board.
We talked about Taylor Townsend's doubles ranking a minute ago, and I have no doubt if she played a full schedule, I think we would see her ranking go way up. But right now, she's still trying to make it in singles as well. So
You're saying if she played a full
double
doubles
schedule at the tour level,
gotcha.
Yeah, because right now she's still sort of in between in the singles, kind of fluctuating between playing some challengers and playing full time at the tour level. I mean, she won that tour event in Auckland this year with Asia Mohammed.
So if you were her coach, I mean, the promise is still there in singles. Would you go half and half like that? There's still hope for her in singles, obviously.
Yeah, I would keep trying to do what she's doing. You know, I think she can obviously be an effective singles player. But like I was alluding to, when you're ranked in the 80s where she is, sometimes you have to play qualies the next week. But if you're going deep in the doubles, You can't play both. And all of a sudden you go deep in one tournament in doubles, then you can't play the next week because you can't make it in time for singles. So that's where a lot of players sort of run into trouble until they decide to go all in one way or the other. Carolyn Dahlheide getting a little caught right there. Want to try to split and move forward out of your split as the ball's passing you on the serve.
Right, a couple fist pumps, like the intensity. Coach DeJager likes what he sees.
Yeah, Springfield looks like they could have calmed down a little bit, settling into the match.
Get another look at that swinging volley that McNally has probably hit like 4 or 5 times already.
Yeah, it was a good return from Haley Carter, that backhand return, getting down to feet of Taylor Townsend. Not too many players serve volley anymore, but if you can get that return down at their feet, make it land around the service line, you're going to get a nice ball to hit in the second one.
All right, 4 looks at the break here. Do you want to give us a percentage of a Taylor Townsend hold here, or are you now a little gun shy from your last double prediction? I'm going to say 7%. And it just dropped to 5. Impressive in doubles, just for an 18-year-old too, and she didn't play college tennis, and I say that because in college you're forced to play doubles. And we know about all her success at the junior ranks in doubles, but quick hands from her as well.
Yeah, Katie McNally, obviously she has the advantage of growing up with an older brother who plays at Ohio State. You know, I'm sure they played a lot of volley games, but she's played a ton of doubles in the junior ranks, all the big tournaments, and won 2 titles last year, Washington, D.C. and Luxembourg, both with Coco Gauff.
Mick Coco, right?
She knows what she's doing around the doubles court.
McNally and Coco Gauff, that was the nickname they gave each other.
I mean, they were packing the stadiums last year. It was unbelievable. It was so cool to see.
Mick Coco. So we going to get a little nickname here? What do we got? We said Chisero? What am I talking about? Just like that. Almost like we were counting them out early on. 2 points away from getting this to 6-3 in the total column. It's what we love about World Team Tennis. Many chances with different sets to get the score back close to even. Coach DeJager, 3-time Coach of the Year, like we said. We might be giving 4-time Coach of the Year if he can just come back and win this match.
Coach JL is looking pretty good in the corner. What a volley, jeez, Taylor Townsend.
That's such a good feeling when you're at the net and you feel your opponent get that ball deep, and she's just all over it. Loves to get around it and cut that angle off nice and sharp. It's perfect weather out, isn't it, right now? This is money. We haven't said this yet, but World Team Tennis uses Hawkeye Live. That's why you see no line judges out there. It's the same technology that you see with the challenges. So instead of having line judges and challenge, why don't you just go straight to the final answer? There's a look right there. Production crew in the truck killing it. We say one thing and they show it, and there's the look of the umpire. He will only be there to take care of any egregious errors from the system. All right, Luch, they're up 3-1. It's only 6-3. They are back within 3 in the total column. Second half of women's doubles when we come back.
Chosen Foods. We are inspired by the vibrant culinary lifestyle of the Baja Med and, of course, by avocados. From our flagship avocado oil to our family of dressings, mayos, simmer sauces, and guacamoles, the versatility of all Chosen Foods avocado-based products offer you the freedom to be both healthy and creative in the kitchen. Join us in the sun-drenched utopia of Chosen Foods, the avocado. Celebrate it.
As an athlete and professional tennis player, I hope to inspire others to get out, be active, and stay healthy.
Back here with some beautiful pictures. White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, 11,000 plus acres at this resort. We're gonna head back into the stadium where the Lasers are making a little bit of a comeback. Chipped away at that lead. Like I've said, it is only 6-3 advantage for the Freedoms. Second half here of women's doubles. Caroline Dollahide to serve.
Gosh, that's just how you write it up. When you teach someone to poach, you teach them how to split and to move at an angle directly towards the net strap because that's where the return's going. That ready position. Athletic stance.
That is so sick. We're going to get a look at that. But when your nose is on the net, it makes volley that much easier, doesn't it?
So easy.
You can shank it, get winners.
It eliminates the shots below the height of the net, except for that one. Taylor Townsend with the electric feel right there.
What do you think about the electronic noise it makes on the out call? You good with it?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. You know, whatever. The ball's out. Okay.
We got out and fault for the serves. I feel like we get a little bit of variety.
I like the foot fault, though.
Oh, I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, it's cool.
I take it they say football?
Football. Shockingly, they say football.
Well, this is my third match calling it, and this is the first time I work with you, and I'm trying to get the analysts maybe to vibe on the idea of getting a soundboard and getting different noises for different type of misses. No one's really biting on that.
You could have a different miss depending on the length of miss.
Exactly, right? Ooh, just missed.
Nice serve, Katie McNally.
Now, normally, you're up a break, you just tell yourself, hey, I'm just 2 holds away from winning the set, but they need every game. They're going to want to hold and a break. I mean, how many angle massaging volley winners are we going to see from her today?
Just so much feel. We can hear the strings against the ball. Taylor Townsend taking all the pace off that shot. Nice little dump volley cross court. That's where you finish in today's game. You finish short. Short's the new deep, Jeff.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Short's the new deep. I haven't heard that one. That's great. Short is the new deep.
Got it from Raven Clausen, former San Diego Aviator, world champion in 2016.
I'll take his word for it. That guy can play some doubles for sure.
I was like, Raven, why are you hitting all these volleys short in practice one day? He said, Mark, short's the new deep.
Nice ace up the tee there from Katie McNally.
Just how nice is her motion?
A little bit effortless power, right? That is
Effortless,
nice.
smooth, nice slow in the take back. She brings her back foot up to get in that pinpoint stance. Does a great job keeping her left side up.
You know what I love about World Team Tennis as they get the hold and they're up 4-2. And we are going to talk about Haley Carter. Taylor Townsend is dominating, but Haley Carter doing a good job of neutralizing that.
Haley Carter knows her way around the doubles court, coming off her first career title a few months ago. Watch Taylor Townsend. Taylor's been all over the net, sometimes cheating a little early. Out of her periphery, Haley Carter sees it, goes down the line.
A return up someone's alley like that can go a long way. Force her to think about it the next time.
Yeah, it's actually a really good lesson for doubles players at home. Out of your periphery, you can see left and right, but you can't see depth perception. So out of your stance, go straight forward. The returner won't be able to see you when they're looking at the serve. But if you cheat a little early to the side, they're going to be able to see that.
McNally doing her best to distract her on the serve. I got a question for you on that one. If you saw McNally right there, she's going next to the center line. I got to admit, I don't love that. I used to see that in college all the time. About to do my second serve, and the opponent net person is kind of shuffling their feet. She didn't really shuffle her feet, but I guess gamesmanship and any way you can get on the board, right?
I mean, I've seen players like straddling the center stripe, which I think is kind of Bush League.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So you're calling Katie McNally Bush League?
No,
I'm totally kidding. Oh, point of the day, a little volley war. All girls showing off their quick hands at the net.
Just quick hands all around. Nice touch from Carolyn Dolhide, but leaving the ball too high. Oh! Gosh, that lefty serve spinning in on your hands.
I used to hate returning lefty serves. I would pay money to become a lefty.
That serve right into the body, going right at the right hip of the right-handed player. It's like a broken bat in baseball.
I like that analogy.
Fastball in on the hands.
I love other sports analogies. That's a good one. That's the one she wanted, right? The first one she missed, the swinging volley.
Well, serving's like pitching. Changing locations,
right.
Changing speeds and spins, keeping the other person off balance.
You know, I was just going to say, this is our look at a Geico timeout here. Get a couple per set. Coach Carden talking to his double squad. And I was going to say before that point, hey, if they're both at the net, I'm talking about Townsend and Dolhide, for sure go to Dolhide. She goes 3 forehands in a row, and she's right there. So great doubles players on the court, all 4 of them. This is impressive stuff. That second serve from Carter, it's probably the weakest serve on the court, which kind of surprised because she's very tall, and the first serve isn't that weak, but that second serve, you can definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, she has a little bit of a hitch in the motion. She needs to make sure she gets a high percentage of first serves in play, maybe gets to attack, come in on behind her backhand.
Yeah, she doesn't have that fluid throwing motion that her partner Katie has. That's the best feeling.
Putting a ball in the stands.
Spiker, baby.
Giving someone a souvenir. I'd love to see that. See a player throw it down.
Another Geico timeout, this time taken from the Lasers.
It's a good time to call a timeout. Try to stop the bleeding quickly.
Yeah, you're up 4-2. It looked like they were really chipping away. I know I keep saying that. But now down love 30. It looks like they're just a couple points away from foisting a tiebreaker.
First serve I hear is critical. Try to get McNally involved. Get a first serve with some depth so McNally can make a move.
So legit. I was going to say, first the reaction from McNally and the good hands Taylor Townsend, I can't stop talking about it, but like you said, this is it's like a buttery Chardonnay right here. Look at that.
Such good overhead technique, and then taking all the pace off that volley.
That's butter right there. If you're McNally, Dolhigh might go head hunting here. Hear the bench saying one at a time.
Great return from Carolyn Dolhigh. Nice depth on the backhand return there. Neither one of them could touch that one. A little too high.
Nice from McNally right there.
30, 40.
When your net person's right in the middle of the court, you take away the angles.
Yeah, all-star with a first serve with some depth. Really critical for Carter here. First serve in the box, get some depth.
I was going to say McNally had the chance there to keep it away from Taylor, but that is much easier said than done, and we are going to a tiebreak, and that leaves me my first. It's a 9-point tiebreak, by the way. First to 5 win by 1. It is called a 9-pointer because 9 points is the maximum it can go. And that leads me to my next question. Do you call it a tiebreak or a tiebreaker? Everyone has different opinions on this.
I was going to say our first buster of the day.
Buster.
But yeah, our first tiebreaker. I don't know. I say both. I think it's interchangeable.
It's weird. Oh, it's weird. Some people don't think it's interchangeable, but. This would be a little bit of a morale killer if Philly comes back and wins this buster. That one's for you, Luch, to get the first point. Our first look at Taylor Fritz right there. A little coaching in the back. There goes McNally.
Oh, I think that's totally valid. Moving up close, you know, totally
That one was
cool.
fine.
Yeah.
Katie, we take it all back. And by the way, when you lose the first set 5-love, Bush League,
Yeah,
anything's
you gotta
open,
do whatever
right?
it takes. You gotta do whatever it takes.
Open.
Yeah.
Bush League it up. Rooting for you, Katie. Big serve right there. Such a difference in the serves from Haley Carter and Katie McNally. Back to the I formation. No hand signals. This one they just verbalized beforehand, so I cannot steal the signs.
Oh man, you gotta put that ball away.
She might be remembering that one if they end up losing this tiebreaker. What is up, tennis fans? Be sure to download the Tennis One, the official mobile app of World Team Tennis. You can follow the latest news, scores, social, and more from your favorite teams and stars, as well as play games and win prizes all season long. Tennis One, available for free in the App Store and Google Play. And if you have the app, you'll see right here we are in a crucial tiebreaker, second set of 5 total sets. 45th season of World Team Tennis. I'm Jeff Chisler alongside Mark Lucero up in the booth. 9 teams in the league. Top 4 make the playoffs. Each team will play 14 regular season matches. We are just still in the beginning. This is day 3, playing about 3 or 4 matches every day in this beautiful bubble at the Greenbrier Resort. Olivia Decker also downstairs holding it down in her spot. We will get to hear from her during halftime, which is after the 3rd set. Oh, McNally wants that one back. She's pissed.
She's telling herself to swing at it, accelerate. So there's like 1,800 feet of altitude here.
Good
so
call.
You got to make sure you accelerate to bring that ball down. That spin will bring the ball down, but if you decel, the ball's going to go flying.
I was going to say don't test her, but she was going for the peg almost. She still got a racket on it, just goes wide. 3-all, first one to 5. And now, and I was going to bring this up before because we said we don't want to keep picking on the Haley Carter serve. Everyone is accomplished here, but she does have the weakest serve of the 4, and she will serve these last 3 points. So who can win 2 of these last 3? Great return.
4-3, Philadelphia.
It's tough.
Interesting strategy. It's not a strategy I might use in that situation.
The I formation, you mean?
Yeah, serve too slow. I think McNally has to stay home there.
Right. I was going to say, like, you want to give her a different look, but at the same time, she has so much time to see where she goes.
Or just take away that return. Townsend's hit a bunch of times this set.
All right, another look at the second. All right, that is a tough way to lose the second set, but much more competitive than the first set. Like I said, just 2 sets down. We still have 3 sets to go. They're down 6, but plenty of time to chip away. Coming up next, it's going to be men's doubles, and we're going to get a look at a great veteran pair of Jean-Julien Roger and Robert Lindstedt. They'll be taking on Fabrice Martin and Donald Young coming up after the break.
No.
and gentlemen, our WTT dancers with McEnfro getting us started tonight.
Philadelphia leads Springfield 10-4, taking the first 2 sets, and men's doubles is next. You know, I got to catch up with all the players on what they've been up to during quarantine. I heard so many different answers. Earlier, we heard how Ken Skupski in Liverpool got to play dad and teacher as his wife worked for the police force in Liverpool in the HR department. But Fabrice Martin also had an interesting perspective. His fiance is a doctor in France. And so he said, right in the middle of the chaos, it was very scary, a very intense time. But for him to hear World Team Tennis was resuming gave him the motivation to start training again. He worked out every day, and he said he feels in amazing shape, if not better. So these 3 weeks, he's really focused on staying sharp with his serves, something to keep an eye on, guys. Men's doubles is next. Jeff?
There he is, Fabrice Martin, the 2019 French Open doubles runner-up, lost to the German duo Kravitz and Mies, and this guy was also the male rookie of the year for World Team Tennis in 2016, winning record in both men's doubles and mixed doubles that year. And last year, same thing, winning record in men's doubles and mixed. And usually, Mark, the double sets are so close, you know, just one break or you're going to breakers. Anything above 50% in your game's won percentage is going to be good.
Yeah, Fabrice Martin really separates himself with that serve. So difficult to break, so consistent under pressure. That's where he really makes his value shown for the Philadelphia Freedoms.
That is the name of the game in doubles. I don't know what the average amount of shots in a point is, but it's probably something between 2 and 3, right? I mean, a lot of times the return doesn't even go back in. So huge serve is where it starts right there for him, and he's going to be playing alongside Donald Young, and it's going to be our first look at him this season. Of course, this is only the Freedom's second match of the year, but he did not play in their first match. Talk about another junior standout, #1 ranked junior in the world in 2005 when he was 16 years old.
Yeah, Donald Young has a lot of game. This is a doubles team also that's played a lot together over the last couple of years for the Freedoms. Donald's got a lot of action on his serve, makes whippy forehand and really good hands around the net.
Yeah, typically with doubles, you think you want to just be big and strong. He's certainly strong, but he's not so big, but it's all about feel with him massaging the ball, kind of like we see with Taylor, and Donald has a lot of feel up there. Excited to watch him play. And the hi-ya is back because Martin is serving. And that was a return right there up the middle. Another little saying I've heard, up the middle solves the riddle. That one's kind of lame. Everyone says that one, right?
Got a couple more up my sleeve for you. Don't you worry, Jeff. Yeah.
I can see you covering your sheet right there. You don't want me to steal them. And this is our first look at Jean-Julien Roger for the Lasers, another former college tennis player. And this is just a veteran doubles duo that I will take against anyone else in the league on any given set in doubles.
I would stand by that, maybe aside from the Bryan twins.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Those guys are playing. They're pretty good. But I did forget about them for a second. I'm going to put them second.
No, but this is an outstanding team. Jean-Julien Roger, Robert Lindstedt, both have won Grand Slams. Both have been at the top of the doubles game. Jean-Julien Roger, as you mentioned, former college player, a UCLA Bruin.
3 years there.
Played for Billy Martin.
That's right. Actually, I was just washing my hands in the bathroom before, and I was talking to him. We were doing our Billy Martin impression. He actually liked it. I think I do a pretty good one. You know Billy well?
Of course.
Do you want to hear my impression?
Sure.
We'll just do it real quick. Everyone at home's like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Get up to that ball. Be a Bruin. He liked it.
That's good.
Billy Martin, longtime coach at UCLA. He knows how to recruit and get all the good players, and that is one of them right there.
Game. Philadelphia. First game, 30.
And we were talking earlier about Lindstedt and Roger, who's the better doubles player. Interesting enough, they're going with Lindstedt in the mixed and not Roger. You can tell us after this point why you think De Jager decided to go with that.
Wow, what a point. Some huge hitting out of the forehand corner from Fabrice Martin. Donald Young, great hands, keeping the point alive. But Robert Lindstedt and Jean-Julien Roger too good at the net. Nice reaction to the net court here from Jules. A little backhand overhead smash.
Yeah, tough to get power on that backhand smash.
Robert Lindstedt gave someone a souvenir right there. Robert Lindstedt, pretty big serve. It's probably why he's playing the mixed doubles.
That's right.
Pull off a few more free points, and Jean-Julien Roger.
Roger, two-time All-American at UCLA, and Lindstedt started at Fresno State, then graduates in Pepperdine of '98. If you've heard of a guy named Peter Smith, Lindstedt transferred to Pepperdine at Malibu when Peter Smith moved from Fresno State to Malibu. So they kind of were a package deal.
There were a few guys that came down from Fresno State.
Oh, is that right?
To Pepperdine, yeah.
Wasn't aware of that.
Speaks to the loyalty the players felt to Coach Smith, one of the best in the business.
Certainly.
He's got a few NCAA trophies in his closet.
Look at that. 3 straight finals in Wimbledon, but that's tough, but he didn't get either of them, but he still does have a Grand Slam, not at Wimbledon, but I feel like Wimbledon's that Grand Slam. If you could have one Grand Slam, which one do you want?
I mean, tough to not say Wimbledon after that lead-in.
Like I'm twisting your arm on that one.
Wimbledon men's doubles is the only Grand Slam where they play best of 5 sets.
Yeah, Lindstedt got to a career high number 3 in the world in doubles. And there is the Grand Slam he won. I was actually looking up my notes. I didn't have it. And the production crew has got you covered. 2014, 6 years ago, but he is still balling. He is still relevant at 43 years old. Roger is 38 years old. So definitely a veteran duo. They know their way around a doubles court.
Robert Lindstedt, so professional, one of the hardest workers out there. You see him day in, day out, putting in the work in the gym, using the time to loosen up his body before practice, do all his corrective stuff, his prehab, and getting in the work off the court after practice too.
Nice return there, the one-hander. You have a two-handed or a one-hander?
A beautiful one-handed backhand.
Beautiful, isn't it? Is it easier to return the one-e on the do side or the ad side?
No, on the ad side.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I would have thought it's easier to take it late on the deuce.
No, it's so hard to hit on the deuce side. Usually, like the best return for a one-hander on the deuce side is right up the line.
Turn on it. DY almost taking out his partner there. Slice return attempt. 2 games, 2 holds, 1 apiece. 11-5 for the Freedoms. And if you're the Lasers, it's not a must-win, but it kind of is a must-win because after this, waiting on the bench for the Freedoms is, someone named Sophia Kennan and Taylor Fritz. Sophia Kennan, number 4 in the world. Taylor Fritz, number 24. Such a tough roster. We talked about it earlier, but on paper, like I said, it's just on paper, but it's the best.
We're not going to get ahead of ourselves because we should remember Mitchell Kruger has the head-to-head 1-0 over Taylor Fritz. He beat him in Newport earlier this year, right after the Australian Open.
On the grass?
On the hard court.
Oh,
Newport Beach.
Right. Newport. Just testing you.
Oh, man, you live in Southern California.
I don't know why.
No, you know what I was thinking?
I was thinking because Taylor Fritz has 1 career title, and it was at Eastbourne, I think, right? That's on grass, right?
Correct. Donald Young has a sneaky good serve.
Deep in the box, too.
Yeah, deep in the box. He can use the different spins. He can bring a little pop, too. He's not really known as a big server, but the guys around tour who know, they have a lot of respect for the Young serve. French Open finalist a couple years ago with my man Santiago Gonzalez from Mexico.
That looked like a little miscommunication right there between Martin and Young. They're both going to the same side.
First set of the year for these two. Donald Young, first match in World Team Tennis.
Check it out. They're both going to their left.
Yeah, a little miscommunication. Someone got the signal crossed. Yeah, they got a little look and a smile. Like, who messed up? Was that your bad or my bad?
This time they're going to verbalize it, right?
Yeah.
I think they're going to kill the hand signals now.
Got the double confirmation there.
Yeah.
Great serve from DY.
Kicker out wide. And he's got that low toss, right? It's almost like a quick serve in a way, right?
Yeah, so his motion happens pretty fast, so you got to be ready. Especially if you haven't seen his serve in a while, and all of a sudden you have him over on the other side of the net. You have your head in a swivel.
Great return.
Yeah, we should remember too, and it's funny in World Team Tennis, you warm up with your teammates, you don't warm up with your opponent. Like in a match, I would see your serve a few times during the warm-up.
Right.
But
Good
here
call.
you come out and you see a guy's motion for the first time. Didn't really bother
Isn't that
Roger
weird?
right there, but
That is the weird thing about tennis. You warm up with your opponent. That would be like, I'm trying to think of a funny analogy there. I'll wait because we got an important deciding point right here.
that'd be like Steph Curry shagging layups for LeBron.
I got a good one. Stand by as we got a second serve look. Roger. Oh, a big come on from Jean-Julien Roger, and that's what they need. It's nice to see that veteran duo bring the intensity as they try to get back into this lead. Okay, my analogy, right? What were we talking about again? Oh, yeah.
Warming up with your
Oh, no,
opponent.
that's right. Okay, that would be like, let's take Miguel Cabrera going out there about to play the Dodgers, and he sees Clayton Kershaw warming. Clayton, show me that curveball real quick. Let me get a quick look at that.
I like it. I like it.
Philly bench, feeling confident, up 5, but the Lasers are up a break in this third set.
Massive return.
He likes to go line or at the net guy a lot on that forehand return. He leans to his left, but he can take it up the line.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't naturally get on the outside of the forehand. So
right.
The more natural shot for him is to
down the line.
Go right through it. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right up the line.
Even though he's leaning left. Yeah.
I mean, he's taking big cuts at the ball tonight.
Another buttery shard right there.
Jeez.
Like Taylor Townsend right there.
Look at the angle on this volley from Robert Lindstedt.
Wow. To take the power off a ball like that is not easy. Firm forehand. Sorry, firm forearm. Serve and tee. Lindstedt's going left. Oh, Roger wants that one back.
Man, Fabrice Martin seeing the ball like a beach ball tonight. Jeez.
And that was that backhand inside-out return. That one that apparently you can't hit,
He
right?
hits it well. I can't hit it, yeah.
I still feel like, wait, how do you get it?
I don't know, man. Tennis is about knowing your game, and I know I don't have that shot. Never had it.
Staying in the eye. Oh, wow.
That double hit was legal. It was one continuous motion.
That's right. You beat me to it.
Robert Lindstedt gave the chair umpire a look just to make sure he was aware of what happened.
Like halfway through the point, you mean? He looked up
No,
or you mean
right
afterwards?
right after the point.
Oh, okay. There's another look, yeah. Yeah, like you said, one continuous motion, even if it hits the racket
It might have been a
twice.
carry. Hands went up from Robert Lindstedt quickly. It looks at the chair umpire
hey,
just to
maybe
make sure.
The ball never lies. Ball never
Yeah.
lies because DY ended up shanking the easy
Yeah.
forehand.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. He did put his arms up.
Yeah, keep an eye right here after.
Great job on the replay right there, boys. All right, I can feel the momentum going a little bit. Like I said, they need this set because up after this is going to be the women's singles, and Sophia Kenin, I do not know how many times she's going to lose while she's here. I don't think she's going to lose more than once or twice. I mean, Shank City for DY. Having a tough time with that forehand. So they consolidate the break. They are up 3-1. Second half men's doubles after this.
Emerson Latzia here, and tennis fans, you're gonna love this. DraftKings is partnered with World Team Tennis, and we've got an exclusive way for everyone to get in on the action, with thousands of dollars in prizes this season. Download the DraftKings app and enter our free-to-play tennis pools with promo code WTT. Then put your knowledge to the test and answer a series of questions about the matches being played that day. So enter now, download the DraftKings app, use promo code WTT, and play free for thousands of dollars in prizes.
At Chosen Foods, we are inspired by the vibrant culinary lifestyle of the Baja Med and, of course, by avocados. From our flagship avocado oil to our family of dressings, mayos, simmer sauces, and guacamoles, the versatility of all Chosen Foods avocado-based products offer you the freedom to be both healthy and creative in the kitchen. Join us in the sun-drenched utopia of Chosen Foods, the avocado. Celebrate it.
Here's a look at the score up until this point. It was all Freedoms in the first two sets, but here the Lasers come getting back into that deficit. They are up 3-1 here. It is just one break, but you feel like they need this one. As we take a look at the golf course in the background, did you bring your clubs, Lucero?
I actually decided not to at the last minute, but I did go out there 2 days ago. I got in 14 holes before before I came back to watch the evening match.
Nice. Thanks for the invite, man.
I'm a solo guy.
So you can lie about your score and look at that serve. Linstead wants another look at it, but there's no challenging because it's Hawkeye Live. So 14 holes.
14 holes.
How'd you hit them?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I got 2 birdies, and I also got 1 8 and a 7. And
8?
you know, it wasn't a great round. No, I had 2 good holes.
Well, sometimes that's all you need that keeps bringing you back.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this course is beautiful. I was outside, socially distancing. It was great.
That is so sick right there from Roger. That's almost like you're volleying the return. It's not even a full swing. He goes up and he gets that one at the feet.
Yeah, you can take away time, drop it low, especially you cut down the time the server has to get into the net.
Like a half volley return. That is so nice.
He's really good playing these cat and mouse situations. Sometimes you can draw the other person into doing things like that. That's maybe outside their skill set.
Let's go, Lasers. That is big right there. How nice is that when you feel your partner get that serve, that return down to the feet, and you are just ready to pounce?
Yeah, he's seeing that Fabrice Martin's got his racket low for a low volley around the service line, and he's beeline to the net strap.
Straight forward, right? Not to the side. You want that angle. We keep going with the analogies like a DB or a safety, right? Take a good angle.
Right to the ball, yeah.
Who's your football team now that we got a Geico timeout?
San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh my God. This guy, that's when you know it's your team, when you don't even know what city your team's from. Although everyone does that, so no worries right there.
I mean, my true team is the...
All right, how do we beat this I formation, Mark?
Jean-Julien Roger, get a pick your target. When the other team's playing I, you pick your target and you stick with it. Fabrice Martin, not the most swift of foot.
So you're not waiting for the net guy where he's going, you're just picking a spot.
You pick a target early. Jean-Julien Roger was committed to the down-the-line backhand.
Like it, male MVP 2013, just 2 years prior, and look out. That is a body serve if I've ever seen one. That's called hitting your spot. What?
What a serve.
Is it a
What a
forehand?
serve.
Wow. That's perfect.
I mean, that's what happens when you take a guy's first serve inside the baseline the time before.
Great call. Great response from him. And another
137.
banger up the tee, 137. Wow. I feel like if that was earlier in the afternoon, that might have hit 140.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the fastest one you've seen so far?
Today?
Or I guess this is only our third match, right? Yeah, I haven't seen anything above 130.
Taylor Fritz yesterday ran a couple of 140, 141.
Did he?
Yeah.
I need to check this
At
gun.
night.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so Philly holds. still one break advantage for the lasers. And we said this earlier, in typical tennis, if you're up a break, you're telling yourself, okay, I can just hold 2 more times, but they need every game. If they can get it, they want to win this set 5-2.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, like you said, and we keep repeating, every game counts. So you maximize each point. That's one of the reasons players come out of the World Team Tennis season and say it was so valuable, because you play every point like it has meaning, because it does. Every point's consequential.
Good habits, yeah.
Yeah, every point matters. There's no freebies here.
And especially this year, of course, we've had the long hiatus. We have the Open up around the corner. We even have big tournaments before that, but I'm not saying this is practice for that, because this is a league and there's big money, but it just so happens that it's perfect timing and perfect way to get the competitive juices flowing, because let's be honest, these players are thinking beyond and thinking about their individual game. So this is a perfect platform for them for that.
Players coming out of this season are going to have a huge advantage going into Washington, D.C., into the Kentucky event on the women's side, and then obviously playing, you know, the Cincinnati, which will now be in New York, and then the Open. Huge advantage versus those that didn't play and get these competitive reps in.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to keep an eye on all these players. We got about 50 players here, maybe a few more if you include the alternates.
What a backhand volley, Jean-Julien Roger.
Nails at the net.
Yeah, in doubles, you keep an eye. He stuck that volley at the net man, the man closest to him. That's the most vulnerable player in most situations. That's where you want to attack. Nice hands from Robert Lynch. Good depth in that volley. Jean-Julien Roger, quick reflexes with the B hand.
Great intensity from these guys from the laser. You can tell they're kind of the leaders of the team. You said it before, right? They hang their hat on their doubles. 3 out of the 5 sets are going to be of the doubles format, so it is a premium, and these two certainly leading the way in that category. Finals MVP last year, Lindstedt won both his mixed and his men's set. I mean, let's not forget, these are the back-to-back champions right here. Do not count them out. Like they say, the defending champ is always the team to beat. We said on paper they might not have the best roster, but they can still be feeling good and confident coming into the season because they have that culture that Coach De Jager has built, and he has been there forever. 14th season with Springfield. Big serve and a big come on. They hold 4-2, and now they're saying next game, let's get this one now, right? They don't want to serve it out. They want to break and move on to the third set.
Let's continue to chip away at that game differential. Right now, 12-8. Freedom's leading the lasers. See if we can make that 12-9. Cut that down to 3 games going into the singles events.
This is the third set. I should have said the 4th set. Misses that one long. We said earlier he likes to serve deep in the box, and that is an underrated part of a good double serve. Like we said, he doesn't have the power, but when it goes deep in the box, it's easier to get jammed, harder to get the return at the feet. Ooh. Going for the old peg right there. How cool is that? Sophia Kennan back there playing ball boy, ball girl. Another look at this swinging volley. You never want to teach the swing, but you know when it's a sitter like that, you might as well go big.
That was a little slap right there.
That's such a tough serve to return. That's just perfect. Like you said, sliding into the hip. So hard to get it down. Floats long.
There's just so much movement on that ball. You start tracking it, and next thing you know, it's nowhere near where you picked it up initially. Especially if you try to hit a inside-out forehand on that.
I mean, it's crazy to think everyone on Philly is good at singles and doubles. Is it crazy to say that Taylor Fritz is the weakest doubles player on their team?
I'm going to go with accurate.
Accurate.
It's
Good.
accurate. Yeah. Taylor hasn't played much doubles. I'm sure it's something he'll get into. His skill set really lends itself to the modern doubles game. Sort of a comfort thing.
And in the same way every game counted when we said for the Lasers, that's a big game for Philly. Want to keep that lead up as they're going to hand over the match to their two singles players that are certainly featured in this season's edition of World Team Tennis. Taylor Fritz, ranked 24, highest ranked male in the league. Sophia Kenin, number 4, there she is, 2020 Aussie Open champ. And she does not mess around when she's on the court. She is just waiting. Roger can hit his spots on the serve, can he?
Yeah, all these double guys, there's a premium. If you're not a big server, you need to hit your spots.
And the margins are slim. You go for the body serve and you miss it by a foot, then you're right in the strike zone. Game of inches. Another great cliche.
Nice return, Donald Young.
That was the two-hander inside-out return. We were talking before about the one-hander. Does he have enough stuff on his wrists? I mean, doesn't that weigh you down? Got 3 things on that right wrist.
Good jam serve there from Roger.
2 points away from taking this set. And that feels manageable. You get this, you're just down 4 with 2 to go. I know we were just talking about how Philly's going to be so tough in these last 2 sets, but don't forget, Mitchell Kruger in that 5th set, 1-0 against Taylor Fritz. So the slow forehand to him, he shanks, but then you hit it 112 and it's just plush down the line. Check it out.
Yeah, that was a missed spot right there. This court is a tricky court because the ball goes through the air quickly, but the court's a little slower. I think that's why Donald was having a little bit of an issue with the forehand earlier.
Have you hit on this court?
I have. The ball. You think the ball is going to scoot through, but doesn't quite scoot through as much. It sits up just a little bit because there's some grit to it.
Got it.
Nice fair speed.
So thank you for the invite in tennis and golf. Appreciate it. I know you hit with Leaf and Nico. I was just home in the hotel room watching TV. And just like that, they lose 2 points and they're facing a break point. I thought we might get a Geico timeout, but when you have 2 veterans on the court, maybe you feel like you don't need to stop it. They know what they're going to do. Keep in mind, Donald Young had the forehand return last time. You got to think they're giving it up the tee. Oh my gosh. Some might say that's lucky and he might have got the frame, but it still takes courage and fast hands just to be there.
It pays off to keep your racket up. Fabrice Martin squeezing in, but the racket head's still up.
Yeah, you don't even have to say sorry there. It came off the frame, but like I said, that takes a lot of courage.
Oh, I like that move.
Yeah, give it a big come on. That is tough to swallow. He gives the big sorry right there. That's tough to swallow if you're the Lasers. They were just about to get it to 4 games. Nice return, another 9-point tiebreaker.
Valuable first point.
It's so quick, it's to 5.
First point on the opponent's serve can be huge. Just see if we can squeeze out one more.
And what's cool about the 9-pointer is you already know who is going to serve last, those last 3 points. And it's going to be Lindstedt, which is their biggest server, which is nice. So we know it's going to go Martin. Wait, did I blow it? It's going to go, no, I did blow it. It's going to go Martin, Lindstedt, DY, and then it's going to be Roger serving last. So for everyone at home, it goes 2-2-2-3. And it can't go any deeper because it's a deciding point at 4-all. What is that little run around right there?
I like it. It's just letting you know.
2-1, Springfield. Review, please.
Fill up that mini break. One more serve for Lindstedt.
We have the review, please.
I still don't get what the challenge is if that's what the Hawkeye Live does. Nice hands. And you heard the out call, but sometimes it's happening so quick and you're so confident with your hands, you just go after it anyway.
Yeah, you know, it feels good to put away that high volley. Jean-Julien Roger getting a little extra pop, switch to a new head frame this year. A little more stable at the net than that other thing he played with before.
What was the other thing? I was just going to ask.
That's another company.
Wait, what?
He played with a vocal racket.
Okay,
The thing, I think those rackets are difficult to volley with.
Gotcha. So it's a good switch, you think?
Good switch.
What do you play with?
Play with a nice orange racket, nice head radical.
Okay.
Love it. Same racket that Taylor Fritz uses, actually.
Gotcha. Okay, so we switch it 4, and that is it. We only switch one time, maximum of 5 points here on the other side. 2 points away for the Lasers. A win here would get it back within 5 games. Nothing too crazy to come back from.
What a return.
Nice. That feels good. I think the backhand inside out, one-handed, two-handed is just one of the tougher returns. And when you nail it like that, it feels good.
Oh, what a shot. I like the way he got inside the court. Short backswing, contact out in front.
4 set points. Great intensity from the Lasers. They were up the break, they got broken back, but they end up taking it in a tiebreaker. And you gotta start somewhere if you're gonna chip away at this lead. Total score is 14-9. We are 3 sets in, and that means we've reached the old halftime mark. But lucky for you, Olivia Decker has got you covered. It's going to be Taylor Townsend featured in our latest edition of 2 Minute Break.
Come on, everybody, put your hands together.
I'm not going to ask what the question was. I'm just joking.
Let's hear it from McIntyre, our WTT dancer.
After 3 sets, Philadelphia leads Springfield 14-9. Taylor Townsend winning both of her doubles sets. And she's also one heck of a teammate. Look at that support right there for Fabrice Martin. Now in 2018, Taylor Townsend won the Female Player of the Year. She did so by winning every single one of her singles sets. Just incredible. In her 7 seasons with World Team Tennis, she's been a dominant player, one of the top in the league. But she's not willing to give up her secrets quite yet. Take a look.
I don't want anyone to be as successful as I am. So I wouldn't give anyone any advice. I want to win. This light is hot.
Action.
Philly fans, I'm so excited to be back with you for the God.
Ready? Everybody, no worries. Good. Yeah, that was just sweater. That's
Yeah, shake it out, start over. All right, we're good. Here we go. I don't really think there's any way you could prepare for World Team Tennis. I've done it so many times that I'm familiar with the format, so the jitters and the nerves that I had when I first started, thankfully, aren't as intense. That's the biggest thing you have to get over.
Look at that return by Taylor Townsend. Tremendous angle. Coco wasn't even in the frame on that one.
I love the format, the team environment, and it gives you something different that you can look forward to, something different than just being out on the court by yourself. It gives you a team atmosphere and a team environment. It's really fun.
Townsend with an electric backhand pass to get the break for the Freedoms.
The coach is very critical, and they're seeing things that you might not see as a player. So I think that it's very critical that they're in tune with what's going on.
You got 2 serves here, all right? Let's go.
You have to understand what's going on out on the court as well as each individual player. You have 4 to 5 people on your bench, and you have to really be able to know and read what kind of person they are, what kind of player they are.
It is a 17th straight win in women's singles over the last year plus for Taylor Townsend.
What drives me is just I love the game, I love competing, I love the challenge of having to improve and learning how to tweak everything every single day. It's always a different day, and there are different things that you have to do each and every day to compete, to get better, to adjust to the opponent that you have, so it's ever changing.
Well, Taylor is undefeated in 2020 World Team Tennis so far, winning both her double sets last night and again tonight. Coming up, we still have women's singles and men's singles. A lot of star power there. 2 top 25 players coming up after the break.
Back here to begin the 4th and 5th set to wrap things up on day 3 of a 19-day regular season of World Team Tennis. The 45th World Team Tennis season. Women's singles is just about to begin. Katie McNally, and there she is, the 2020 Aussie Open champ, Sofia Kenin, making her World Team Tennis debut, playing her 2nd match since she's been here. And Sofia Kenin, 21 years old, born in Russia, but she plays for the American flag. Such an amazing competitor. I think a year ago, she was sneaking up on people, but now she steps on the court, and she just expects to win.
Sonia Kenin, one of the most improved players on tour. One of the big things she's improved is that serve. We saw the ace on the first point. Big breakthrough last season, midway through the year. Won the title in Mallorca, back-to-back semis in Cincinnati and Toronto, and then another title in Guangzhou at the end of the year.
Such a heady player. It's crazy to think we're talking about her being so well improved because she got the most improved player the year before, but she's 4 in the world. Look at the way she moves the ball around. Drop shot. Such a heady player.
Just really smart play around the court. Strength of her game lies in that backhand corner. One of the best backhands around. Really good with drop shots and touch shots to feel. It's a big challenge tonight for young Katie McNally.
Great opportunity.
Great opportunity. There's certain ways that you can play a Sonia Kenin to make her uncomfortable. Her game style, her all-court game might be a way to do that. Jeez, that was a great second serve. Hold McNally so far off the court, outside the doubles alley on the deuce side.
Only 21 years old, but we keep saying it's so smart. Does a great job of playing through the sidelines and using the whole court.
Great competitor. Sonia Kenin doesn't back down from anybody. Probably got my first look at her probably when she was around 10 or 11 years old when I was working for the USTA.
Could you see it then?
Always a great competitor, absolutely. Great competitor, really good backhand. She uses the drop shot extremely well, especially on clay. And she's just consistently gotten better over the years, every year. Added to her game, improved.
We were having a conversation earlier, and we were talking about tanking in general. Tanking, of course, means when you just don't give your best effort. You just won't ever see that from Kenin, I feel like.
No, she's there to compete, and regardless if there's fans, no fans, a few fans, if she's playing on a small court somewhere or a stadium, she's going all out, locked in, eyes on the ball.
just see it the way she walks around. One of my favorite things she does when she wins a game or she's all into it, and she takes the ball out of her pocket and she spikes it like she's Rob Gronkowski or something. But you could just see it in her eyes.
Yeah, it's
That's
her.
who you
It's
want
her
on
and
your
the
team.
ball out there.
I like that. Her and the ball.
Her and the ball.
Jotting that down.
Nice serve from Katie McNally. We saw she was going to serve and volley on that serve. She can provide a lot of different looks out there. Youngest female in world team tennis. Players these days are not used to seeing someone serving and volleying singles.
What do you think McNally's ceiling is as far as ranking or Grand Slams? I don't know anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, at this point, I would say I think she can be a top 20 player. After that, I'm not sure. Depends on how she adds to her game, how physical she becomes.
I feel like that's the easy part for her. She already seems so impressive physically. Nice to see a fist pump and come off from her. She is here to compete. All right, the World Team Tennis official store is online. Log on to WTT.com and check out all the merchandise World Team Tennis has to offer. And I'm kind of digging that Castle shirt. I usually don't like to wear red. I'm a Cal guy, but what do you like there?
I have a lot of Aviators gear at my house, actually, from back in the day.
Okay, so you don't need that then.
No, but what's really cool is they have a lot of gear from some of the older franchises that no longer exist. Throwback stuff. It's really
Vintage.
cool, yeah.
Both women here putting on a serving clinic. One thing I feel like we always talk about with Kenin serve is what she does with her head. When she tosses it, she still has her chin down by her shoulder. It's almost like she doesn't follow the ball right away. Check this out. Our cameramen and producers and everyone in the truck are crushing it today.
It's a great point from Katie McNally. One of the ways that I've coached players in the past to play against Kenin has been to play a heavy ball down the middle early. That way you push Kenin off the baseline, and if she leaves it short, you can open the court. But you don't want to let her open angles on her terms.
She's so good at playing through the sidelines, so you don't want to give her the opportunity to even have the angle.
100%. You want to push her off the baseline first through the middle, and then that way you can get a ball with it, especially an aggressive player like McNally.
And the last thing McNally wants is getting a backhand cross-court rally with her, I would assume.
Exactly. Nice serving.
It's only the third game, and she's given a come on after every point.
Yeah, every point matters. World Team Tennis, Jeff. Come on,
That's
man.
right, I forgot. So Kenin holds to go up 2-1, and let's take another look at that serve, Mark.
Sonia Kenin, nice pause in the beginning. I like that left hand stays up, eyes up at the ball, gets into the power position, and keeps her head up through contact. Really a nice job. She's really done a good job developing that motion.
.103 on that one.
You know, when we start talking about mechanics, there's certain things that are technique and there's certain things that are style. The little head idiosyncrasy is a style
thing. So it's
She was probably taught at a young age to keep your head still, because that's a problem a lot of kids have, moving their head around. Where the head moves, the body will follow.
Clearly, it doesn't affect her.
Yeah, Coco Vandeweghe actually has a similar, it's not quite as pronounced as that, but she does a thing where she doesn't really, she tosses the ball up and then her head almost like looks at the court a little early. It's a little funny if you watch her motion next time.
Jordan Spieth, when he putts, sometimes those short ones, he looks at the hole when he takes it back. We're just crushing it from the other sports analogies.
Good depth in the return.
I mean, let's say she's won 13 points. I think there's been a come on all 13. She means business.
I like that play of the slice. I like the awareness. Katie McNally trying to use this slice to change some speeds.
Maybe force her to move up a little bit. Something
Yeah.
different. So the double fault gives Kenin the break, up 3-1, and they are up 7 games.
Emerson Latzia here, and tennis fans, you're gonna love this. DraftKings is partnered with World Team Tennis, and we've got an exclusive way for everyone to get in on the action, with thousands of dollars in prizes this season. Download the DraftKings app and enter our free-to-play tennis pools with promo code WTT. Then put your knowledge to the test and answer a series of questions about the matches being played that day. So enter now, download the DraftKings app, use promo code WTT, and play free for thousands of dollars in prizes.
Oh, we love our new home. Neighborhood's great.
Amazing school district. The HOA has been very involved.
These shrubs aren't board approved. You need to break down your cardboard.
Thank you.
Violation. Violation.
I see you've met Cynthia.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
And does help us save a bunch of money.
2 inches over regulation.
Thanks, Cynthia.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
All right, so here's a look at the universal tennis rating. Before I ask you, Mark, we got Sofia Kenin ranked 4 in the world in WTA ranking, and Katie McNally is outside the top 100. What do you make of these numbers?
I mean, to me, they look accurate. You know, the UTR takes into account who you play, what's the margin of victory, how close or how far apart is the loss. It really is a great way of measuring and facilitating level-based play, not only close to you, but around the world. It's funny, for a while I was actually paying attention to the UTR last season, and I was noticing that Allison Risk, for a large part of 2019, her UTR outpaced her ranking significantly. She was trending really high, and I couldn't understand why, and I was just thinking about it, and her results weren't quite following, and sure enough, a couple months later, she wins the title in, I believe it was Surbiton. She has a really strong event at Wimbledon, and now she's in the top 20 in the world. Had a great Asia trip.
Yeah, if you want the most comprehensive representation of a player's current form, then you got to follow the UTR, right? Typical tennis rankings only concern with what round you lose in each tournament, but the UTR's algorithm focuses on more relevant factors. Who did you beat, what was the score, and how recently did that score take place? It makes much more sense if you want to know where that player is at that point in time. Most 30 recent results. I used this analogy before, and I think we have some time because this match is kind of out of hand. We got a football score, 17-10. Let's say your first round of the Grand Slam and you beat a qualifier 7-6 in the 5th set, right? And then you lose next round. You receive your points for that. Let's say the next year out, you come and you play Rafael Nadal first round. You beat him 0-0-0. Obviously, it's not going to happen. He doesn't lose there. But the point is the way it is now, you would get the same amount of points for that win. Whereas the UTR is like, hello, you just beat Rafa 0-0-0. Let's make more sense of this and give more context to it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Katie McNally, great example in Australia this year, beat Samantha Stozer in the first round, who's a good player. Someone else who might have played a local Australian wildcard also won their first round, and they both get the same amount of points. But for UTR takes that into account. Katie McNally gets a ratings boost as a result of that win.
Yeah, who knows if it's the future of rankings. As we see, McNally has 3 break points, by the way. She's fighting back tremendously. Great opportunity here. She misses that return. But I don't know who out there is into betting lines, but if you notice, if you see the Vegas lines for a match, because everyone knows Vegas knows best because they take into account all the numbers, the Vegas line is going to represent more closely what the UTR number is than whatever the ATP and WTA ranking is, or ITF, whatever it is you're using. That's when you just know it's more accurate.
Yeah, college coaches are using the UTR for recruiting purposes. They're assessing players all over the world, and sometimes players not playing a common schedule. A lot of junior tournaments are using it for seeding purposes.
Oh, look at that cannon forehand going behind McNally. Nice athletic slide there. And a come on from Kennan. Fights off 2 break points. We got a deciding point. McNally wants it in the ad.
Would love to see a big return from McNally directed at the Kennan forehand. Forehand middle is where you can attack her early.
It's tough. If they were going to have any chance of coming back in this match, they certainly needed that game. No surprises here, though. She is so tough to beat. Like I said, a year ago, I remember when they would put her in Fed Cup ties, or she came out in any match, it was kind of like, hey, look out for this girl, Kennan. She's scrappy, she's feisty. She can beat anyone. But now it's like she goes on the court, and it's like you just don't expect her to lose. It's a different mentality, and it's only been a year since we felt that difference. And she's still moving up.
That was nicely done. Love that volley technique on the low forehand volley from Katie McNally. Nice wide base, racket head stable.
Yeah, that's impressive. She's only 18. That's something I'm expecting to see from Kiveta Peshka, the 45-year-old double special. But she's 18. She's coming up, hitting firm volleys down at the feet. She's down 1-4, but still impressive stuff from the 18-year-old.
Sonia Kennan really committed to playing on top of the baseline, taking balls earlier with her forehand.
Have you always gone with Sonia? It's been kind of one of the more annoying things working in tennis, figuring out if it's Sophia or Sonia. I've heard her say 2 different things. Back to the Sonia versus Sophia. Sonia is the nickname. So I guess her close friends call her Sonia. I guess Lucero is close enough with her. He's on a Sonia basis. I'm not quite there yet, so I'll stick with Sophia. Either way, I think she's fine with both as we got our Geico timeout. And we've also heard her say that she's just annoyed by the question, so I guess it just doesn't matter. Sonia, Sophia,
either way,
tomato,
she's turning.
tomato.
Either way, she's turning when you call her.
Yeah. And back to the UTR, we were talking about that earlier. Do you see, it's not like, oh, the ATP is now just going to change it to the UTR, but the ATP can adopt things from the UTR to maybe just tweak the rankings a little bit.
solid point after the timeout for Katie McNally. If you're going to pick on the side, it's the Kennan forehand that can sometimes run into some issues. McNally get good depth on her own forehand.
Idea coming, still taking it early, committing to the net. That's a tough ball to hit, though.
Yeah, she cut through the court, but pretty good running forehand from Kennan right there. But you like seeing the proactivity from Katie McNally trying to transition on that forehand.
2 set points for Sonia/Sophia.
Good strike, though. Good strike.
By who?
Sonia Kennan. Like how she gets her feet set and picks her spot on that backhand.
That's a pretty good miss right there.
For me, that's a string tension error. As a coach, if you go 1 pound tighter on your racket, that ball is cash money.
Straight cash. We like the idea, but tough to execute. The volley sails long, and just like that, Kennan takes the set 5-1. And the Philly Freedoms are up 9 games, almost doubling the score of the Lasers with 10. They are certainly taking it to the back-to-back champs. We got one more set. It is men's singles. Taylor Fritz is going to go up against Mitchell Kruger. One more set left here in West Virginia.
Our WTT dancers. Two minutes. Let's meet the players for men's singles as part of our 5th set. Warming up for Springfield to the right of the chair.
To get you caught up on the score here, it's been the Freedoms taking 3 of the 4 sets, but 2 of them 5-0 and 5-1, and that is why you see the huge deficit, 19-10, Freedoms in front by a lot. And we just saw that singles match, and we got the Chosen Foods mover of the match. And to show you how much they were moving, I hear in this point, both of these ladies moved a total of 400 feet, Mark.
This is prime time. Sophia Kennan using her movement as a weapon. She was near the back fence behind that World Team Tennis logo, got inside the court, creating space. She's so good moving in and out of the court. Creates angle with that backhand. And another backhand that she runs down.
We still got more feet to go here. We're going all the way to 400.
The dropper and the coverage.
Great job by both of them, and there are the numbers. Kennan, and sometimes that stat, you don't know. Sometimes if you're the one moving around more, it means they were in control and they were dictating. In this case, Kennan runs more, but she wins 5-1.
Yeah, for her, that's a stat that she likes to have in her favor.
How come?
It means she's like taking position, she's cutting off angles. A lot of times, if she's not moving a lot, that means her opponents are hurting her through the middle of the court.
Right, and you were saying before, good way to beat her is going at the middle.
Don't let her
good call.
run. Yeah, don't let her run.
Good call. So Taylor Fritz will take the court with a 9-game lead. And Mitchell Kruger, we're going to get a first look at him, but with Taylor Fritz here, 22 years old, 6'4". He might still be growing. Huge serve, huge forehand, and a really solid backhand. There's Kruger, ranked outside the top 100. Great opportunity for him. I think a few weeks ago, we thought Miomir Kecmanovic was going to be playing singles for the Lasers. He was a late scratch, so Kruger will be handling all the duties for them at men's singles. Fritz to serve.
138 out of the gates. Taylor Fritz doing what he did last night, coming out hot.
Wow. Why didn't even realize how big that was. And you said he got up in the 140s yesterday. Keep an eye on that. So for all the people at home that might not know, and you're thinking, wait, the sets are to 5, but the Freedoms are up 9. Why are we even playing this? Well, the answer is World Team Tennis has something called extended play. Explain that in a second. 139, one away from 140. So if Kruger can win this set, the match will continue. Kind of like in baseball, even if you're up 10 runs, you need to get the last out. If you're up in the total, you need to win the last game. And a quick start for Fritz. 3 serves over 135, and here is the explanation. So let's just say Kruger now wins the set 5-1. That means that the score would be 21-15. They'd still be down 6 games, and then Kruger would get the opportunity to win 6 consecutive games to tie it at 21-all. And while he tries to get 6 consecutive games, Fritz would only have to win 1. That was kind of a long-winded explanation, and probably even more confused. Basically, they're not coming back.
I've heard of some crazy comebacks in World Team Tennis. Chatting with Coach John Lloyd about 1 year ago. I think it was a 9-game margin, maybe.
Going into the last set. That was this. It was 19-10. So I lied. If he would have won 5-1, it would be 20-15. You'd have to win 5 games in a row. And in the words of Lloyd Christmas, so you're telling me there's a chance.
Gosh, that's what Mitchell Kruger does so well, that backhand. It's really a signature shot in his game.
I was just going to ask. You know, a lot of people probably haven't got a good look at Kruger, but backhand's his best shot, sounds like.
Mitchell Kruger is actually a lot of fun to watch. He's really improved a lot over the last couple of years. 3, as we see, ITF singles titles, but the backhand is his signature stroke. He hits it really well cross-court and up the line. Semi-2 challengers to start this year, Newport Beach and then the Indian Wells Challenger. Really worked hard at improving that forehand as well. It's noticeable this season.
Let's look at that Fritz backhand.
Yeah,
That thing is nails.
I think that's his signature shot actually at the backhand side. That's one of the things that separates Taylor Fritz from some of his other peers.
Would you describe it as big, solid? He has good variety.
It's bulletproof is the word I would use.
Oh, I like that.
Not much can go wrong. It's really simple, and he can hurt players on that side.
And if you're down 10 games and you're Coach DeJager, there's still stuff he wants to see from his players. He wants to see him fight. He wants to take data from these matches when he's figuring out his lineups. Only 2 matches in. Each team plays 14 matches, just a reminder. So plenty of season left.
There's that Mitchell Kruger forehand, good depth. He's really worked hard with Coach Dave Licker in Dallas to iron out some of the kinks, simplify that stroke. It's really noticeable, the improvement this season.
Game. Springfield.
All right, we were going on about the UTR. Now let's check how it looks out between these 2 players. What do you make of that?
Yeah, there's a pretty big separation. You can notice Taylor Fritz's UTR ranking doesn't quite match with his ATP ranking. Mitchell Kruger a little lower, but he would have benefited, obviously, from that head-to-head win earlier this season over Taylor Fritz.
The slogan is play locally, count globally. And one thing we didn't talk about the UTR is that the whole point is that you can compare players from any part in the world, any age, any gender. You know, right now, I think what a lot of people like to talk about, I don't know, let's take the 40-year-old at the local club, and he wants to know if he can beat the 12 and unders champions in Southern California. If you both have a UTR, you're actually going to see an accurate way to compare those 2 players. And just to give you some context, Novak Djokovic, top-ranked UTR player in the world, obviously, 16.18. Rafa is next. He's 16.17. Dominic Thiem, 15.95. And then for the women, Serena Williams, she is 13.33. She's not the top-ranked woman. That would be Bianca Andreescu.
Nice combo from Mitchell Kruger.
And so just one more quick thought. So Bianca Andreescu, 13.44. She's the top-ranked woman UTR. The top-ranked college male player, a guy by the name of Jensen Brooksby, who also happens to be top 300 in the world, but he goes to Baylor. He's 14.88. So make what you want of that. By the way, that serve was just 141. So he did get above 140. That's ridiculous.
Live arm,
How hard is your
simple
serve?
motion. Jeez, I haven't served in a while.
Here are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that, 141. So you said that's what you saw last night, 141 from Fritz?
Saw 141 last
Gotcha.
night, yeah.
All right, so he ties the 2020 World Team Tennis record. Keep an eye on that. That's a just great look at how he can dictate from the baseline, hitting from corner to corner, and a lot of pace on it.
Big hitting from Taylor Fritz, some big cuts at the ball. He's really worked hard to improve his footwork and become a better athlete. Mitchell Kruger is going to need to use that backhand down the line a little more often, pull Taylor out of that backhand corner where he's most comfortable.
So he has a huge serve, his backhand is bulletproof, and the forehand is big. What are the things, and he's 24 in the world, but he's only 22, but you know, what are some of the things that can take him to that next level?
Well, I think he's going to need to continue working on the serve, developing accuracy, being able to hit his spots under pressure. I think getting better when he's pulled to his forehand side. I think adding a slice, getting better transitioning to the net.
Yeah, you don't see him use a slice on good call.
Yeah, I mean, for him, when he plays the better players in the world right now, the ones that can defend really well, he's sort of stuck trying to hit through them. I mean, he needs to be able to hurt them, maybe open the court a little better, take advantage of times when these players try to reset the point, like a team who's going to give up ground and Nadal who's going to give up ground. Can Taylor get in, take away time, and finish off of the net instead of having to hit maybe 2 or 3 more big ground strokes?
There you go.
So Fritz is ranked 24 in the world. That makes him the youngest American to be ranked in the top 25 since Andy Roddick. He's also the second highest ranked American. And he's playing the best 10 of his career because 24 is his career high. 2020, the big result that propelled him there, ATP 500 in Acapulco, gets to the finals, taking out Kyle Edmund and John Isner along the way. And then he ran into a guy named Rafael Nadal in the finals. Get there. Pretty good moving right there. And he gets the break. So he gets the break. He's up 3-1. Another look. Swinging wide, hitting that forehand. And the Freedoms have doubled up the score of the Lasers. The score is 22-11. Taylor Fritz up 3-1 here in the final set of the final match of day 3 of a 22-day stint here at the Greenbrier. 19-day regular season, day off, and then 2 days of playoffs. That's how you get 22. Playoffs will be August 1st and August 2nd. Philadelphia Freedoms have quite the roster, and right now they are taking it to the 2-time defending champs, the Springfield Lasers. So 2 games away from wrapping up here. And this is one of the more lopsided results we've had so far, and we might see more of this from the Freedoms because they are sick.
Well, it all started really early today. Taylor Townsend coming out of the gates with Fabrice Martin with great energy. Bagel. It's huge hitting from Taylor Fritz, playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Another look at that forehand. Whippy.
Up a break, really loose swinging. So much racket head speed from Taylor Fritz. Plays with one of the lightest rackets on tour, actually.
At Fritz's style of play, he's probably one of those players who's a pretty good front runner because he's got just such a strong, powerful game. And like you said, when he's loose, and we saw that in that forehand, he's going to feel good just pounding it in the corners.
Wow, big serving. Taylor Fritz hitting all his targets. Time for Mitchell Kruger to focus on what he can control, trying to put in some good first serves, create some chances to be aggressive from the ground. Maybe even get to the net 1 point at a time here.
Like the spirit. Go, Mitch. Wow. I mean.
It's just lighting it up tonight. This is the modern forehand. Good preparation, semi-open stance, good shoulder turn. Creates coil and kinetic energy.
If the Freedoms can get a win here, and I think they might, they will be the only team in the league with 2 wins, but without a loss. We got 2 other 2-win teams, but they are 2-1. And so each team plays 14 matches. What's the over-under on wins for the Freedom? I'm going to say 11.5, and I think it's going to be somewhere around 12. I love how I just asked you a question and answered it myself. That's not very nice.
I don't know, man. I think this league's gonna be very close. I think you were gonna see maybe, I think you might see one team create some separation within the league. Maybe like you said, an 11-3 team or something like that. But I think the majority are gonna be jumbled together, fighting for playoff position. I think all the matches at the end of the season are gonna be really relevant. A lot of playoff implications. Good serve from Mitchell Kruger. Been waiting for a tee serve. Excuse me, for a body serve.
But how do you beat them? I mean, if I'd ask you to coach right now and you line up all the players and you get your first draft pick, everyone is going to say one of these 3 players. Or no, everyone's going to say either Kennan or Townsend.
Yeah, maybe, man. But I think it's tennis. I think there's ways to beat all these players. I think there's ways to beat Sophia Kennan. I think there's ways to beat Taylor Fritz. I mean, execution's another thing.
You're right.
But I think there's certain ways that you could play them.
You're right. Well, it's good I have you in the booth because I can just say crazy things and you can put me in check because you're right. That's why they played the. But let's just say right here. Remember I said 11 halves. I think I'm not going to be surprised if they go at 11-3 or 12-2.
Oh, Taylor Fritz stepping in on that backhand.
All right, back to Deuce. We got a deciding point. Where's Fritz going to take it? Deuce or Ad?
I think He's going to stay on the outside.
What could he possibly be telling Fritz right now?
Go for your shot. I mean, I know Coach Carden's going to say, go for your shots, try to get in.
I think he's telling him, no, the bar closes at 9:30. They're not serving food past then. I've had the club sandwich 3 days in a row now.
He's saying my room service is already in my room. It's getting cold.
Attaboy, Mitch. 4-2. Force him to serve it out. If you've just joined us and you know the sets are to 5, the match is not over, but Mitchell Kruger needs to win this set, and it is just one break. So you're telling him, point at a time, breaking a hold, and then you got the breaker. I mean, we said we've seen crazier things. This would be the new story of possibly the craziest comeback.
Well, what's going to be crazy is the number that Taylor Fritz puts up on the radar gun for this game.
Okay, 136
He's
there.
going high heat. This is when the catcher puts down the old #1 sign. You're going fastball.
Because up to T, you're going to get higher numbers, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Enough.
2 points away from shutting the door on the Lasers. Remember, top 4 teams make the playoffs. There are 9 teams in the league.
40.
So 14 matches each, 0-2, no big deal. I think we've seen your Los Angeles Chargers start plenty of season 1-4, 1-5, and somehow sneak in there.
They went 0-4, then ran the table a few years back.
But then Rivers was always good for some pick 6 down the stretch and crushing me in my survivor pool.
Well, Tomlinson broke his toe, and then Rivers played with a broken ankle. You know, it's tough.
That's when you know the match isn't close. When we're talking about LaDainian Tomlinson, World Team Tennis.
LT, man, Hall of Famer. Put some respect on his name.
Yeah, you're right. I definitely had him on one of my fantasy teams. One of those 2,000-yard seasons.
Uh-oh. Taylor Fritz almost rolled an ankle right there.
We do not want to see that. So
No.
that was the first match point, let it be known, just in case we get a comeback. But it looks like he was okay, and he's shaking it off.
Laughing it off. The
Yeah,
turf monster almost got him.
Second match point. Come on, get up 140, Taylor. Too much spin on that one.
I mean, 127 is a fast slice
Yeah,
serve.
that's a good point. That was an impressive point all around, and that will do it. 5-2, Taylor Fritz shuts the door on the back-to-back defending champs, Springfield Lasers. And they take 4 out of 5 sets, and they win final score 24-12, doubling that up. And there is a look at one of the better rosters in the league. Just 2 matches in, but we expect big things from the Freedoms.
Just really aggressive tennis from Taylor Fritz, pounding balls corner to corner, really improving, taking time away, getting his feet inside the court, ripping forehands, backhands, showing some nice movement to end the point at the net.
Yeah, he looked really comfortable out there, and it's easy to feel comfortable when you got that big of a lead, but playing so well nonetheless, came in playing the best tennis of his career. The Freedoms came out swinging. It was the night of the Taylors Taylor Fritz we just saw, but Taylor Townsend, she was balling. The Freedoms came out swinging, and they were led by no other than 2018 MVP Tyler Townsend. And because of that, she is our guaranteed rate player of the match. And good news for you, you're going to hear from her in just a little bit. We are going back out to the desk. Here is a look at the other Taylor running up and finishing it off in the 5th set. And like we said, you're going to hear from Taylor in just a little bit. Going back out to the desk, Olivia Decker will be speaking with Taylor after the break.
Philadelphia wins 24-12 over the Springfield Lasers, winning 4 of 5 sets. The Freedom are now 2-0, winning back-to-back night matches. Wrapping up an action-packed day 3 of the 2020 World Team Tennis season. And Taylor Townsend is undefeated so far this season, playing and winning 2 sets of doubles, both nights. She was the 2018 Female Player of the Year, going undefeated in singles that season. So far, a complete threat in the doubles sets. Taylor's with me now. Taylor, you and Fabrice Martin came out swinging with your hair on fire to start out this 3rd match of the day. What's the kind of cohesion you're finding together right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been on the team probably for 3, maybe 4 years with Fabrice, and we played mixed a lot. So it's really nice to be back with someone that's you're familiar with, that you've created a relationship with, but also I haven't seen for a long time, so I really enjoyed being on the court with him.
And then right after that, in women's doubles with Caroline Dolehide, how long does it take to get that comfort level up?
Yeah, Caroline and I have never played against each other. We've played with each other, or never played with each other. We've played against each other in singles. I'm not sure in doubles, but our games really go well with each other. She's really aggressive, and she has a great serve, so I really enjoy being on the court with her as well.
You know, a lot of people have raved about your roster this year, big goals ahead of you all. Where do you feel like you're the strongest as a team?
I think everybody is extremely strong in their field. I think that we have a lot of individuals that are extremely solid in everything that they do. So obviously coming together and being cohesive together is important. So I'm really excited, but our roster is amazing, and everybody has done such a great job so far with being so team-oriented and just making sure that we're all getting what we need. So it's really fun.
Yeah, it's such a fun team to watch, and you guys slapping the towel and everything watching on the sidelines. You guys definitely have that group chemistry. And Taylor, it's your 7th season of World Team Tennis. Obviously, circumstances are different this year, but the timing works out pretty well, gearing you up for the tour to resume. What are you specifically focused on in your game in this 3 weeks?
Well, it's a little bit different for me because originally I was drafted to be the singles player and obviously expecting to play doubles and mixed. But once they signed Sonia, I knew that she was probably going to be playing singles. So I'm just really happy to be out on the court and competing, honestly. But I'm ready for anything. I'm ready to go out there and play singles if I need to. But honestly, just getting a chance to be out on the court, get the competitive match play, and just kind of like shake the cobwebs off that we have after not playing for about 5 months. It's great just to be out here.
Taylor, it's always great watching you play. Thanks so much for joining our set.
Thank you.
And after this, Jeff and Mark will have highlights going over the Freedom's second consecutive dominating win coming up after the break. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not.
World Team Tennis is brought to you by Geico. World Team Tennis is brought to you by Geico. Did you know that right now, Geico is offering an extra 15% credit on car, motorcycle, and RV policies? That's on top of what Geico can already save you. So what are you waiting for? Visit geico.com to learn more. By the Greenbrier Valley in West Virginia, home to scenic trails and quiet rivers, friendly mountain towns, and America's resort, the Greenbrier. And by Chosen Foods. Join them in their sun-drenched utopia and visit chosenfoods.com. The avocado celebrated.
Welcome back. Here's a look at the final score, and it was a lashing. The Freedoms gave the back-to-back defending champ Lasers 24-12, doubling up their score, winning 4 out of the 5 sets. We took a little look earlier at the movers of the match for the women's singles, but now that gives us a chance to check out the Chosen Foods mover of the match for the other Taylor, and that was the men's singles. Mark, check out this point.
Taylor Fritz showing off this physicality he has, going from the doubles corner through the middle, looking for forehands, creating space, covering that forehand sideline. Taylor Fritz wants to be one of the best in the world. This is how he's going to try to get there, by being really physical, being able to use his weapons all over the court.
Yeah, we said one of the things he's got to improve on is his movement. Nice to see that right there. And the ultimate mover of the match, though, was Sophia Kenin, doing such a good job of moving her opponent around, but we know she can play defense and do it on her own as well.
Love to see players like Ken and Fritz using defense and turning it into offense, putting in the hard yards out there, Jeff.
Pretty impressive stuff. Kenin and Fritz, those are going to be 2 tough players to beat the whole season long. They are going to lead this team for 3 weeks straight. 24-12 is a look at the final score. We will be back one more time to wrap it up. All right, back here at the Greenbrier, let's take a look at some of the highlights, and it all started out in mixed doubles. We said it from the beginning, but Taylor Townsend, one of the most valuable players in the league, and she really stood out in these first 2 sets, Mark.
These Taylor Townsend and Fabrice Martin played with so much energy. Taylor Townsend constantly moving forward out there.
They end up taking this set 5-0. We call that the old bagel. And then she stayed out on the court for women's doubles, where she would play with Dollahide, and she would get the win, but this one a little bit tougher. This one they won 5-4.
Yeah, pretty good team on the other side of the net. Haley Carter and Katie McNally, they had a little trouble, but good reflexes kept them in points.
Yeah, she was so nasty all night long. Kicks, serves, massaging the volley, spiking it, really doing it all. And here's a look at Dollahide with the hands. McNally keeps going at her, but she ends up putting that one in the net. Like I said, they take that one 5-4. Anticlimactic ending right there. And then we said we're going to move on to the men's doubles, and you thought if they're going to get one set, you knew they were going to get in men's doubles, because Rozier and Lindstedt, those guys are quite the duo in doubles.
They bring so much experience to the doubles court. Grand Slam titles for both players, tons of ATP titles. Rock solid for the Springfield Lasers.
They had a chance to win that 5-3. That would have been huge. They take it 5-4. In the end, it probably wouldn't have mattered, because like we said, they handed over to their 2 singles players, Sophia Kennan and Taylor Fritz. We are excited about this matchup between Kennan and McNally, but in the end, the 2020 Aussie Open champ was just too much.
A little too much game, a little too steady, and too much experience for the young McNally.
Yeah, she'll get her chances later. Excited to see how she does. That backhand sails long, and just like that, they're up 19-10. And then it was Taylor Fritz taking on Mitchell Kruger. More of the same domination from the Freedoms.
Taylor Fritz played with a nice cushion behind him. Little air in his sails, just came out and let it rip.
Yeah, you said the backhand is bulletproof, and the forehand was really dictating well, going corner to corner. This time he goes behind him. And there's a look at the backhand.
Best point of the match, and Fritz using the forehand to control the court. Mitchell Kruger, the biggest hitting of the night from him right there.
Brings him forward here.
Watch the slide into the shot. Fritz, highlight time.
Great way to end the match for the Freedoms. He is playing with so much confidence. They take 4 out of the 5 sets, and they win 24-12. They are the only undefeated team with 2 wins on the season. They are 2-0. So here's a look at the standings. Perfect timing, 2-0. Like we said, the top 4 teams make the playoffs. Do you expect the Freedoms to stay on top for the whole season?
They're so deep. They have so much firepower. They can replace players, move players in and out. I think they're going to be one of the teams to beat this season.
Yeah, there's a look at the other 3 teams right below them that would be in the playoffs. But obviously, it's way too early to tell. But plenty of more tennis on the ESPN family of networks. Join us as we start day 4. Let's look at Wednesday, Orange County versus Chicago. That's 11 a.m. Eastern, ESPN+. Next day, Vegas and Orange County, same time. And then we got on Friday, Chicago, New York, Vegas, Springfield. So many great teams, so many great matchups, and it's all going to be right here on ESPN+ or ESPN2. So, for my broadcast partners, Mark Lucero and Olivia Decker, this is Jeff Chisver saying so long from the Greenbrier, where the Philadelphia Freedoms came out rolling and on fire to start. They end up winning 24-12. I don't see much stopping them. And that wraps it up for day 3, World Team Tennis season. So long, and we will see you next time.